Okay, before we start this video, it's important for me to say that I'm not a doctor and I'm not a qualified psychotherapist. This isn't medical advice, so if you're looking for doctorate degrees and all that, I'm not your guy. Okay. Up front, it's important to say that anxiety isn't a natural organic state for a human being to be in. It's not normal to be in a perpetual state of anxiety. On the other side of the coin, there is also actually nothing wrong with being in that state. All it is a malfunctioning ego. It's a malfunctioning relating function between the self and the world. And the ego construct, the illusory ego construct, is creating all anxiety. So that's important to know up front. It's very common for people to try and find the trigger points for their anxiety. So they look externally into the world for certain circumstances that trigger the disorder that they've been, labelled with by the medical industry. If you constantly seek out these trigger points and try and work through them, or heal or fix yourself, you're going to be doing this for a lifetime. You're not going to get yourself out of that state by constantly seeking it in the external world. It's not going to work. You have to look at the root cause and shine a light of awareness onto the cause. The cause of anxiety is rooted in time. We look at the past and we look into the future, and if they don't look as we want them to look, we then get incongruences within ourselves that we label anxiety. If we look into the future, we go, I don't want the future to be that way. And that's where anxiety sits. What keeps people anxious? Number one, a need for control, a need for certainty. Many people can't handle not knowing something. They can't handle not knowing what's coming in the future. They also can't decipher between what's happened in the past and how they're relating to that today. The reality is that the past and the future are illusions. They're not real. We filter everything through our lenses. So the past isn't as the past was. The past is how you are seeing the past. It's not real. The future obviously hasn't happened yet. So trying to control the future is a fruitless task. You're never going to be able to do that. But if that looking into the future creates a sense of incongruency, like you don't want that to happen, that's where anxiety fits. Number two, trying to escape anxiety. By trying to escape anxiety, you sow the seeds for more trying to escape anxiety, which means you're in a perpetual cycle. It's the same with knowledge. By finding more knowledge and trying to get more knowledge, you create more needing to know, which is where the phrase comes from, I know nothing, because by the more you know, the more you realise you don't know. It's the same principle. The need to keep trying to get rid of your anxiety creates more of the anxiety. So you need to release the need to try and fix yourself. People with anxiety disorder are usually doing everything that they can within their power to fix the anxiety. But paradoxically, it creates more of it. So all you have to do at this point is simply allow the anxiety to take over you and simply surrender to them. Stop fighting the incongruencies within yourself. Stop fighting the mental chatter and just allow them to appear as it is on a screen, and just let them pass over the screen. You're just the observer of the screen. Just surrender them. By trying to grab onto them and change them and fix them, that's once again linked with certainty. You're trying to rearrange how things have happened or what's going to happen to how you want it to happen. What the ego is trying to keep itself alive. It's trying to keep itself safe and certain. Number three, many people with anxiety disorder are actually trying to get something out of life. But the truth is that life is completely meaningless, completely purposeless. It doesn't hold anything for any person. And you need to be okay with that. But a lot of people with anxiety disorders expect life to give it the solution to its problem. Life doesn't have the solution because life has no meaning. There is nothing, there's no life purpose for you. There's no meaning that you can give life. Well, you can if you want, but it's a fruitless task again that will cause anxiety. Life has no meaning and it has no purpose. You can, at that point, with that understanding, give up trying to give it meaning, trying to give it purpose. Just give it all up. Just surrender it. Life isn't going to give you anything. There is nothing to give. All you are is awareness looking at it at the deepest level. But by you trying to figure things out, by you trying to give meaning to life and give purpose to life, give meaning to your own life and give purpose to your own life, you cause anxiety. But as I say, reality, life in itself is actually meaningless. Okay, number 4, life is transitory. It flows in and out. As consciousness arises on the screen of life, it's in and out, it's in motion all of the time. It's the same with the thoughts in the mind. They come and go in the same way as friends come and go, in the same way as we have the seasons of the year. It's always in a state of motion. The person who can handle this transitory state of nature will be the only real people who can live properly. And when I say live properly, I don't mean in a set way of categories like that is how you live. What I mean is that you can enjoy a peaceful existence by knowing that life is a fleeting existence. It's always flowing, it's always in motion. By trying to fix in space and time, you will naturally create an anxious situation. You want things to be a certain way in space and in time. Just know that it's always in a fleeting state. It's never going to be how you want it to be. And if it does for a fleeting second just touch how you want it to be, it will be gone again in the next moment. Now that type of information can completely depress you or it can liberate you. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're ready to liberate yourself from the suffering of anxiety. Okay, so in closing, give up all control. Let it all go and surrender to life, surrender to what is. Anything that's happened in the past, surrender it. Your eyes have put where you are today onto those happenings. The future doesn't even exist, so it's an illusion. An exercise for this, just do it for 5 minutes. Just completely give yourself what you perceive yourself to be over to life. If you don't sort of grasp what I'm getting at there, just sit in front of a tree, for example. Just sit there for 5 minutes and completely give yourself and your ideas, your beliefs, your anxiety, your beliefs about the future, beliefs about the past, what you think's happened in the past, what you think might happen in the future, give it all to the tree. And just sit there with it. Don't give it any opinion as thoughts arise. This isn't necessarily a meditation as such, but just treat it as that if it helps. But just give yourself completely to the tree for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, give yourself permission before to just say, yeah, I can pick it all up again after 5 minutes if I'm not happy. But I'd suggest to you, if you do that exercise properly, you won't want to pick everything back up again. Okay, so let me know how that goes. I'll be interested to see. Just do 5 minutes. You can pick all your anxiety up afterwards. I'll catch you in the next video.